Call halal Yahweh Bashim Abashai Bahashem Rakak Badash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all the Akim doing his work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so. To the confusion of faith brothers that are joined unto our ranks. To the hopefully elect, the Akwaf that are listening and learning. Especially those of you who make your body a living sacrifice to push this work, to do this work. Making your face known, going out into the elements. Pushing this truth. Okay, this is Truth Stream Media. This is a couple, and they're very informative. I imagine that they're definitely on that list of people to snatch up when that day comes. People like them, like Dabu 7, Richie from Boston, Lisa Cabrera. You know, people. Even my man, what's his name? Philip from the Advisory Show. So many others, man. All right. Because the truth is being brought out on Esau. And the crazy thing is that one of the main components that's bringing out the truth is their own people. Just bringing it out. Because they're not benefiting. You know, the low-level Edomites are not benefiting from the fabrication of the social construct of being white anymore. All right? That social construct, that false social construct, they benefited from it tremendously in years past. But now it's not happening. They're starting to rat out the elites. This is Psalm 64:8. So that they shall make their tongue to fall upon themselves, and all that see them shall flee away. And everyone's trying to get away from them, man. All right? So let's let some of this video play. It's called The Most Hilarious Things NASA Has Ever Said.
Let's start this video by pretending that you believe everything NASA says, like so many Americans do, despite the fact that of all government agencies in existence, NASA has one of the shadiest foundings up and today as one of the most important rocket developers and champions of space exploration in the 20th century, but who even they cannot deny was a card-carrying Nazi, member of the SS, and not only was he running the underground slave labor facility where his rockets were being built, von Braun himself would travel to a nearby concentration camp to hand-pick slaves to work for him as laborers. Even the co-founder of NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory was admittedly an occultist who belonged to a cult that practiced sex orgies and black magic. And yet, that is the same NASA that so many people put all of their faith and trust in, spending billions of taxpayer dollars every year to feed the American people their beliefs about everything outside of planet Earth, even though even today when their reps go in front of Congress, they can't answer the simplest questions, such as, hey, where are you guys going next?
What is our next destination for America in space?
The next destination for America in space, and I'm not being trite when I answer this, is the International Space Station. We've got to get there 4 more times this year. The long-term destination, after we successfully close out the space shuttle program, the ultimate destination is Mars. And there are intermediate points that we're going to have to get to before we are capable of going to Mars. If you gave me all the money in the federal budget today, I could not get a human to Mars. I could not morally put a human in a spacecraft and launch them on an 8-month mission to Mars because I do not understand the radiation.
All right, so what is our next destination in space?
The next ultimate destination is...
No, the next one.
Congressman, the next destination, as I said before, is the International Space Station. And
all right, let's not be trite then. What is the one after that?
It's Mars.
So there's nothing in between as far as you're concerned.
But there are intermediate stops.
What are they? What's the next one?
See, you can never get a straight answer from Esau Edom, man. They're liars. There's so many inconsistencies in the story, man. And supposedly the moon landing, which has more holes in it, the story, the narrative has more holes in it than Swiss cheese. All right, which is supposedly one of the most important events that took place in the history of mankind, in the history of Edomite supremacy. Yet they lose all the records. All the records have been destroyed and that sort of thing. It's pretty pathetic, man. This is Psalms 119 and 104. Through thy precepts I get understanding. Therefore I hate every false way. And we hate liars, man. The Bible, complete and strongly comes against speaking lies. All right? Let me go to this scripture here. It's in Exodus. Exodus Exodus 20 and 16. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. But you shouldn't bear false witness at all. Why? Because it's telling a lie, man. These people are lying. They're liars. And a lot of those lies have been used to push forth Edomite supremacy, which is now falling apart.
The moon is a destination. Lagrange points are destinations.
Which one is next?
See, he said the moon is a destination. We thought they already went to the moon. You mean you've gone, you've got the map, the proof, the mathematics, the skill, the experience, and now you can't do it again because you never went. It was a staged false thing. You got scientists, many scientists, that have stated that you cannot penetrate the Van Allen belt. So if you can't get past the Van Allen belt, that's the limit that the Lord gave you. You can't go any further. But guess what? Those chariots that you're constantly seeing, that you call UFOs, they go back and forth through the Van Allen belt with no problem. The whole world saw the videos of the chariots that were flying in and out of the sun. Esau can't go anywhere near the sun. You burn up. But yet you're foolish enough to think you're going to fight those vehicles when they come here. Good luck with that.
You mean, where do we go immediately next? Is that the question?
That's what next
Incrementally?
means.
Maybe that's why people say NASA stands for never a straight answer. Anyway, let's go ahead and pretend, however, that we all trust and believe everything NASA says like it's golden, as if they're the most trustworthy government agency we're unable to question for some reason that has never been sufficiently explained to me, but people just get really mad when you dare to question them. Here are two of the most hilarious things I've ever heard come out of NASA. And by hilarious, I actually mean stupid. Mind-rapingly stupid.
She said mind-rapingly stupid.
First of all,
and you saw the guy, let's see if I can go back, pretending he's in space while they're on the, and you can actually see the wire. She circled it. This video may not be strong enough, but you can see the wires hooked to the back of him. And these guys clearly have wires on them, and they're hooked. It's just false fake news, man. So they got wires hooked to them, and they're sitting like they're sitting up, and this guy's turning a flip, but you could actually see when the video plays the attachments to his shirt as his shirt is being pulled as he's like rolling and flipping. Esau is pathetic, man, and it's so amazing how billions of people believe the garbage that comes out of these Edomites' mouth, man. Billions. All right, this is Job. To the book of Job. 13 and 4. And it reads, "But ye are forgers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value." Right? Esau is just a constant liar. His history, his daily life, his news, his media pushes lies non-stop. 24/7, 365. Non-stop propaganda, man.
here are two of the most hilarious things I've ever heard come out of NASA. And by hilarious, I actually mean stupid. Mind-rapingly stupid. First of all, in the lead up to the 40th anniversary of man's supposed walk on the moon in 1969, NASA came forward with the claim that all of the Apollo 11 telemetry data was...
That is so fake, and people were believing that. The boob tube media going back to magic, witchcraft. And the scriptures clearly says, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live, man. Okay? Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. This is book of Micah 6 and 11. Shall I count them pure with the wicked balances and with the bag of deceitful weights? Everything about them is just deceit, man, and lies. Everything. They have the boot in a museum, and then they show you the footprint, and the footprint does not match the boot. The footprint does not match the boot that's on the supposed suit that they wore. Esau is sloppy, man. I'm amazed that they were able to pull off 9/11 for those first. Actually, you had people who questioned it immediately. And, everyone was in shock at first. But, all the people who came against it, all those, you have the guy who certified the steel in the building, immediately came against it. And then all of a sudden he recanted his statement. You never heard of him again, the guy for UL Laboratories. He certified that steel, man. Because look, planes hit buildings before 9/11 and after, and none of them fell. And then they still don't explain building 7. Building 7 fell and no planes hit it. And it was half the stories that the other ones were. I think the other ones were like 100-story, buildings. The building 7 was probably like 50 stories or so. It came down too. No one talks about that. All right, let's go to another video.
Hey guys, so I meant to talk about this sooner, but I just haven't gotten a chance to. But we are seeing a huge normalization push for widespread aerial spraying to geoengineer the planet. They're just straight up telling us now that this is what's going to happen, and that's just the way it is.
See, they're not hiding their wickedness no more because that's just the thing. It's just like even with the microchip. The microchip is so evident that it's going to be connected to currency and that you will not be able to buy or sell nor travel if you don't have it. They're just coming out and saying it now. RT just did a story on it. I had to do a video on it. All right? The skies are not supposed to look like that. This barium oxide is one of the main contaminants in there. Who knows what else? I've heard rumors of things being geoengineered just to kill Jake, but it's killing Esau. There's all these strange illnesses that are killing them, and they're so suicidal, and so driven to drugs and the despair. Everything that they're trying to do is backfiring on them.
They're not asking everyone. They're not taking a survey. How do you feel about being a guinea?
And I'm telling people about this, and I'm like, you don't see that? And they're looking up. These are some rich Edomites. And they're like, there are clouds. And I'm like, clouds don't make crisscrosses and straight lines in the sky. People are so fucking stupid with all their degrees and their money, and they're stupid as hell, man.
Pig in a planetary geoengineering project. They're not doing that. They're just straight up telling you now that we are living through a test, and that is just how it is. This article appeared in the New York Times about a month ago. Is it okay to tinker with the environment to fight climate change? But see, actually, it's one of those rhetorical questions that they already know the answer to because they are already tinkering with the environment and they're going to continue to do so. So it's really not the question of what you think. It's the question they ask, and then they go ahead and answer it with an affirmative, and then they try to tell you why you should just accept it. In this particular very long, thousands of words article, it's discussing Harvard professor David Keith, who's been sketching his vision. And you just won't believe what it is, guys. It's 10 Gulfstream jets outfitted with special engines that allow them to fly safely around the stratosphere at an altitude of 70,000 feet, take off from a runway near the equator, and their cargo includes thousands of pounds of a chemical compound. Liquid sulfur, let's suppose. Oh, goody, yes, let's. That can be sprayed as a gas from the aircraft. It's not a one-time event. The flights take place throughout the year, dispersing a load that amounts to 25,000 tons.
And where do you think those tons are going to? They're coming right down into your water supply. They're coming down on top of the food. We're breathing it in. It's on our cars. That's why your cars are dirty when the rain comes down. As I've often said, I remember being a kid when it would rain. After the rain, sometimes it would smell so pretty outside. It's such a beautiful smell, the way the green life, the vegetation and the grass would smell. I don't smell that smell anymore after the rain. I remember when after the rain, sometimes my mom would give me a rag and tell me to go out and wipe her car off. Now you have to, because it was like you got a free car wash. You just go wipe it down and your car was shining. Now when it rains, your car is dirty. Why? Because it's bringing all that filth that they sprayed down onto your car. Your pets are sick. The eyes are running. All right, they got ear infections. And only Yahweh knows what it's doing to the children, to the youth. Israelites and heathen alike. And it's not supposed to be so. This is Proverbs 11:1. It says, a false balance is an abomination to Yahweh, but a just weight is his delight. And when pride cometh, then cometh shame. But with the lowly is wisdom. And the lowly is wisdom, because they insult us and call us ghetto and uneducated, and truth to be a matter, they don't even know what educated means. Educate means to come from within. And you had to have known this knowledge in the past for it to come back out of you. That just went over a bunch of Israelites' heads. That's why it says that the spirit of the prophets are subject to the prophets. Like the scripture says, though you once knew these things, he will bring them into our remembrance. All right, so with that, I hope this was an edifying lesson, Salakia. Call halal Yahweh B'Shem Havashai B'Hashem Rakak Wadash Wa Ba Ba.